are live and we're in the semi-finals. Guys are about to get started, so I'm going to give them the cue that they're ready to play so that you guys can just forgive me. I have been running around the whole of today. I'm going to need to just get a chow in for lunch. And yeah. You're good to go.
I'm already here to you can pull this chain and joke
Do we commentate this game?
Okay,
Has the game started?
let's have a look.
What's it? Blue-eye controllers.
So we're sitting
we
here.
have-
Can we pull it up full screen?
Harden scales versus blue-eye controller.
Harden scales.
Harden scales blue eye. Can
Okay,
you pull it
cool.
up full screen?
Yeah. So just give me a second. Let me chime with that. So sure. Just waiting for chows.
Let me sit back here.
Yeah. They stable. I built all of this.
Cool, I sat on
Cool,
it.
we've got-
Cool. So we
So tapped one.
Oh yeah, no, targeting probably the Harden scales. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Harden scales off.
okay, cool.
Well, what are you gonna get? Just
Yeah.
make it easier.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So taking a pane off the Horizon canopy. Playing Oza Saga. One counter on Saga.
Yeah, that's fine.
So here, let's see what he puts out in Arcbound.
No, walking.
Walking
No. What's that? The hanger back.
It's a hanger back. Oh, these old arts.
Yeah. Hey
Yeah,
guys,
exactly.
guys. Magic chat. Yeah.
Let's
People.
talk about pineapple on pizza.
You mentioned that stream views go down.
No, but the chat interaction goes through the roof.
It's like, this is not magic. This is about pineapples and pizzas. Yeah.
It's a relevant conversation.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Magic
Muted by magic. So 19 for Kieran on the live totals.
Sack the polluted.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Oh, I need to update the.
sacked at the
So just
sacked
give,
at the end of turn there. Yeah.
just give me a sec to update the overlays. So this is Wolf.
Wolf versus Kieran.
So sorry, I just need to update that for. And then Kieran.
Okay, he's actually landed the second saga.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty fun one.
Yeah.
But this is one of the.
Kieran does have a lot
This
of.
is one of the tokens, right? Because he doesn't have
He doesn't have the mana to actually activate
Yeah.
both, and Kieran will have answers to this.
Kieran. Yeah. Kieran. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so we're on curve.
So taking a pain there from Wolf, going down to 18. And just making a construct. So 3/3. Oh yeah, because is that a welding jar and animation
Yeah,
module?
it's a bit off screen, right?
Yeah, I think that's an animation. Yeah,
And maybe tell him just to pull it.
that's fine.
Okay, he's made another construct.
Play both of my other songs.
We see fair magic being played.
Saga trigger. Probably gonna go get another animation module or worker.
Can you fetch an Ozolith from that?
Yeah.
You can
Yes.
actually, yeah. Thanks. Charles. So, current playing, what's it? Archmage's Charm to draw 3
He does have
Go
4
two.
mana.
in the previous turn.
Unfortunately, no spreading seeds from the.
Blue-eye control.
He's running 4 spreading seas.
Yeah.
Seeds would have been pretty good.
The new blue-eye control list is just like main deck hate.
Yeah.
It's like,
I love the 4 spreading seas. I always thought spreading seas was a huge card.
yeah. There's like 4 spreading seas, 3 chalice. How many chalice is he playing mainboard?
One chalice,
One
one
chalice.
one side.
One
Ah,
chalice actually
only
quite interesting.
side.
You don't really see one chalice in these types of decks.
Yeah, normally you throw like 3 in the
Only
main.
2 to 3
You
generally.
just chuck it in the main.
Maybe he had a look at his groupings and thought he didn't need to actually.
But I also think the way this tournament's structured is, you know, you can't really lean on Chalice it's because there's also big decks, big mana decks.
Yeah.
So Chalice isn't as
So much variety on it.
yeah versus a
Decks.
normal tournament where you'd have that many, you know, Browess or Burn playing.
Yeah.
So did he get an answer? Oh, he got another
That's
animation on.
That's
And-
his colour.
Oh, he played. He actually has played now 3 Urza Sagas.
Yeah.
2 of them are mine. Oh, this is crazy. No,
This, I mean, this is
This is
the
terrifying.
yeah. But a verdict just sorts all of that out.
yeah.
Not on
Until he
this.
gets the 4th one.
Oh, is he gonna?
Charm. Oh,
Stealing.
not stealing one of the tokens.
Yeah.
Archmage is just CMC1, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
It's
one or
zero.
less.
It's one
So
or less.
one or less.
So you can
Oh, is
can
it one
steal.
or less?
You can
So
steal
what
the
I'm
tokens
thinking
from
Kieran's doing
Archmage
is
Charm.
setting up for a verdict next turn, steal the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then get his own Thopter, yeah.
Yeah. So he might take the damage. Yeah. Let's see.
Everyone knows.
But the verdict is.
Everyone knows me 110, by the way.
Yeah. Just double check the life total.
Each of you, man.
Just check the life totals quickly. Just to
Verdict-
confirm.
Verdict doesn't quite get him out of this now. There's still
No.
another Saga ticking down in the corner there.
Yeah.
So he's still going to be able to pump out more, and they're going to be probably entering his 4/4s.
So this is
Or
quite a.
3/3s maybe.
You can block with the thing that will go for now, right?
Well, if he verdicts now,
Oh,
he won't be able to block.
He gets one chump blocker.
Karen's on 13, Wolf is on 17.
Current 30, so he did tank a hit from
Mm.
Tanked one of the things.
one of the
He's also
constructs.
Fetched that. And Wolf was on 17, so.
Mhm.
And then
Okay, he's actually not
Taking
prismatic,
Wolf down by
one
one.
of the constructs.
Okay, cool.
So it looks
That's
like he's
good.
not going to go for a verdict anytime soon.
then it's
And yeah,
cute.
he's bringing Cohera into his hand.
And I'm pretty curious as to why he didn't take the construct if he wasn't going to.
If he wasn't going to verdict,
Oh,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it's his
because
control.
it does the
That's
same.
fair, that's
It
fair.
does the same
It
thing.
becomes a
right?
round.
Yeah,
So-
and Hangerback gives him a top to even
They
it
just
dies.
become, it's both of them are on 1/1.
So
Yeah.
he's now tapped out to obviously cast one construct before he sacks the Saga.
Let me remind you that most of these, his board state is from the lands he's playing.
He's mostly played land.
He's- So we'll wait until he resolves a spell from his hand instead of a land's ability. Anyway, he's at about 20-ish power.
3 lands.
Shadowspear.
See a
Yeah.
Shadow Spear.
Just to get through
What
the
does
tramp,
Shadowspear do?
trample lightning.
One of our commentators actually lost to a Shadow Spear last round.
I don't know what that's
Simon Richards.
What card is that?
You guys watch them play one round for 50 minutes.
40 minutes,
One game.
Actually,
One game.
One game.
One game.
Simon Richards, a past in case.
Yeah.
My door passed on my ass.
So
The list, that's the same thing.
yeah. So attacking for 6, blocking,
Throws me around and immediately reversed it.
You're gonna see
tapping. He's gonna make 2 tokens.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to sleep.
Chump block, make 2 chump block for
So getting 2 adopted tokens. Wolf giving him the adopted tokens since it's his card.
He buys 1 turn of charge.
Yeah, it's not. That was an ink on the field.
Unfortunately, with the Shadow Spear there, now your chump blocking doesn't mean much anymore. So you might have to look to verdict soon, if he has in hand, of course.
He is running 3 verdicts.
So there, it is likely that one is in
He'll
there.
get one eventually, right?
Mm.
He's gonna draw enough cards. I mean, he's
Yeah.
Archmage Charm on draw already.
Yeah,
so
it's done 2 Archmage's charm.
On draw.
No, no, he stole,
no,
he stole
one
the-
was to steal the.
Yeah, okay, so one was to draw cards.
So he has drawn.
So he's drawn a few cards.
You can get like a Teferi and bounce though.
If he doesn't have it, he is going to struggle a lot.
He doesn't have small Teferi, yeah? No small
He
Teferi.
doesn't run small to
No, he does.
Oh no, it's 3 small Teferis.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Even the big one, like bouncing.
Solitude,
Yeah.
maybe a Solitude hard cost might be decent, but
It's
it does the same
It's also
thing.
gonna give him like
It's going to give him life, but
That doesn't
If you just kill him with all of the stone
matter,
giants,
yeah.
it's
probably
That doesn't matter.
probably better to hold the Solitude for the Shadow Spear equip.
He's just managing the board. He's trying to turn the curve real. As a control player, he's just waiting to.
He's so far behind, he's just trying to level up.
I mean, the sagas were basically what generated all that value, and it just came from lands.
There's a
So.
lands, so there's
You
no way
can't
to
beat
interact with them as control players. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know-
Play
I-
Field of Ruin or
He's-
Rose Quarter.
He's cast an
He's
Ozil-
playing
no,
one
he's
field.
fetched- he fetched an Ozil.
He fetched
Fetched
the
it back.
Yeah.
So he hasn't card. Most of the cards on the board are from lands.
Mm.
Anyways, guys, One Horizons 2 packs are still in store. If you want to
As a saga,
build these
is in
yourself,
that
yeah.
fact?
You get this as a sale.
So You're in a really tough spot here. It's really not. It's a.
Is that now a third construct? But surely they wouldn't be 6. Yes, he's just getting bigger dice. Very fair.
Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
27. Huh?
They're 8 8s.
Yeah. So he can swing for 16 this turn, just from lands.
I mean, it's probably got it's asking for a jump block.
You have to. He's still. I wouldn't be surprised if he's sitting on a solitude though.
So I think he's just slowly waiting out for the verdict.
I'm sure he's.
Get as much value for it, but the problem is with the Ozolithon now, the verdict isn't good anymore because now it's transferring.
All the tokens.
He can then transfer onto the Ink Moth and swing
But
for lethal.
He still does have mana to verdict and then prismatic the.
You could verdict Prismatic or verdict Solitude as well in response to the Ozolith equipping
Yeah, and then
the tokens.
So he's got.
He's got a lot.
He's not.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not dim. And then I want to say that if you watch his control match with Quater, it looked like he went through 2 cons, a drag tusk,
Kieran's very
and
good.
baby con.
No, he's.
Kieran's
Yeah.
very good when he's on low resources.
Yeah, he's a.
Yeah, it's a very tight player.
strong control player.
Like,
Yeah.
Also, like.
cuts like that. But
Yeah.
And also,
Not the
like,
best
the
at
new,
shuffling.
all these new. I mean, you can just play these free spells, right? That's the best part.
Okay.
Is you can
Verdict.
tap out for the
This is
land.
This
verdict.
has to be the
This
board.
looks like verdict.
Yeah, this.
During
Oh
this
no
time.
That's fine.
Unless it's a solitude.
Instead of.
A hardcore solid. Ooh,
That's fine.
that's not right. What you want to see.
He's looking for a verdict, but that's just so he
Mm.
doesn't die. So he's not dead.
But those aren't tokens going onto Ozolith, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
because they get exiled. So
Is it only when a creature dies?
Exile doesn't kill a creature.
exile doesn't kill it. So
Yeah.
It doesn't leave the battlefield.
Yeah, so there's
too.
so now this does buy Kieran.
So there's no modular triggers.
Okay. Oh, because modulars. But Ozolith.
It's when it leaves the
No, it leaves, even if you exile the Ozolith brings the.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the counter should go on Ozolith.
No, there's no counters. There's a +1/+1 for each artifact.
For each
Oh, those weren't counters.
it was a construct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, come on, Simon. We gotta have smart people in commentary.
It was Joe who was talking to me behind as hard to.
Here. I was telling chat that you're, like as a next level player coming up, playing tight, and you make calls like this.
Hey, the calls were fun.
Jeff. I mean, I feel like you should have beaten Tians in that game. That would have been your win and in.
Yeah.
Which would have been.
Tough one. I
It
just.
was
Yeah.
a decent matchup.
I mean, it's so hard. That was to turn the corner there for you
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised you survived so long.
Every turn, I was worried the top card in my library was going to be a land, and then it kept being cantrips, and then all like faithful mendings, discarding the lands away. That's how I was able to stay afloat so long.
That is also a cost. Is that a cost Kahira?
Hard cost.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
How
next?
did he actually does?
So if he can get rid of 2 artifacts here, he can shrink it. Then Solitude can attack through. So Shadow Spear making that construct a 8/8. Yeah, Kira working nice with Celestial Colonnade as well.
I think it's a 5/5B.
Mm.
Oh no, maybe this can't.
No, it's a 7/7.
The
Yeah.
constructs, it's way more.
One's an, one's
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. I think.
Okay,
The one's an 8,
Yeah,
8
no, you're right.
with trample and lifelink.
Yeah, the one's 8 and one's 7.
So he is going to move to double block one of them. Then he'll take 7.
not checking the trampler because that's just pointless.
Because he will live on 1.
He's buffing the solitude.
Just check the life total there.
So against 4 life?
Life total. I think it's gonna go just to make sure.
Because he gets 4 life off of the solitude. Because it gets +1/+1 because it can heal.
Yep.
Yeah, just wait for that attack step to
Wolf
finish.
does gain another 7. Oh,
Oh, welding
a
job.
welding job.
Oh,
Oh no, he didn't see it.
Did he notice the welding job?
so it regenerates, so it'll take it out of play, so
Takes
it
it out
does,
of combat.
and it'll die.
No, it dies. So
But it doesn't the token.
No, they damage each other. So the way, so it's a replacement effect. It's a replacement.
It doesn't flicker it out?
No, it takes it out of combat.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't flicker it out of
Yeah,
play
it
and
takes
back.
it out of combat. It
Okay.
doesn't flicker.
I always thought that with regenerate, it felt weird.
Right?
Regenerate sounds like it should die in
Quick
combat, but it
commentator
doesn't.
check.
It should have died in like
No, it replaces the
in
death.
core 6 or something like that.
It just pulls out of combat. I googled this.
So Kira's a 4/3 now. I mean, Solitude's a 4/3 because of Kira.
No. Remove all damage from it and remove it from combat. So
Remove all damage, remove from combat. So it is still on the battlefield.
So never leaves the battlefield.
16. Wolf is at 18 currently.
So it's like when this creature dies.
Okay, you can read the ruling if you
Kieran
want.
16. and
No,
Wolf
no,
18.
It doesn't die and come back. So
No, it doesn't die.
Yeah, that's why
It kills the other
I was
creature.
saying wait for the end of thing. So
That's what
it's
I'm trying to say. It does. It deals combat damage. So what
So it
Regenerate
goes down
does
to
is
6
Next time this creature
he
would be
takes.
destroyed, instead tap it and remove it.
But
from combat.
what's just check because there's life links and all of that. That's why I wanted to after the combat
After
to
combat, yeah.
not
So regenerating does kill the swingers.
yeah because it has to die
Yes,
to
it has to
regenerate.
die, which means the damage is doubled. Oh, sorry, Joe.
Yeah, regenerate such weird
You
texting.
googled it, Brett. Google it again. But you googled it.
Kieran's at 11, Wolf is at 25.
Yeah, okay, so it's 11
Surprised he only took 11 actually. Right?
because no Solitude's got life link.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
And it was 4.
5 because of Kira. So
Isn't
so
it
3
3
2 yeah so sorry 4 yeah.
Because of
Yo, Kieran's under a lot of pressure.
Me too.
If he gets Supreme version of it,
There
Oh, there we go. There's the verdict we've been talking about. So none of these counters go into Ozolith, and they can't be regenerated because of verdict's text.
Yeah, because none of them plus my
See, Wolf,
Oh no, it can't be counted.
Wolf does look like he's doing something.
it's not wrath.
So
They can be
he is
regenerated.
regenerating again,
No,
I believe.
no, he's just counting.
Or is he? Let's see, I swear I saw
Supreme verdicts and can't be counted. It's not
Is it-
can't be.
yeah, it's
You
not
can
Wrath
still
of God. You
regenerate.
can still regenerate.
yes.
Wrath of God means you can't regenerate.
It's just
Wrath
I
and what's the other one?
Damnation.
Damnation are non-regeneratable.
swear I saw put another wilding jar on the construct there.
Looks like we got a bit of a judge call, but
Yeah, we'll see what's saying.
Or
We'll
a
see
judge has been called.
We'll,
Rob
so
helping
come on
out
and
there.
Tell us what happens after this judge call.
Yeah, I think they're just talking about the
regeneration,
yeah.
I think so.
So you can
Because
still
he's
regenerate.
asking if it carries on to the end of the thing.
No, regenerate is it's one instance of being destroyed. Regenerate is one instance of being
Just
destroyed.
just from what I'm hearing, I think that's what they do.
Okay.
No, but he regenerated last time. so-
Exactly, he also regenerated last turn during combat.
Yeah.
So if that's the discussion,
Maybe there's something else that
there's
they're
probably something else.
discussing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Regenerate's such an old. It was like an evergreen keyword for so long. It's really bad.
Throne's pretty good.
Sorry.
Throne's pretty good.
Yeah. Well.
For rhinos, it's nuts against the guard.
Yeah. Roman 4-3. Uncountable 4.
Unkillable.
Yeah, uncountable, but unkillable as well, yeah.
I wouldn't say unkillable, man. It's 4/4. Well,
Just regenerate.
Okay, so he did actually.
Exile.
He did cast a second
It's
wilding jar.
hexproof.
Just export it.
Yeah.
But it does.
Six-
it's not hexproof.
Yeah, he's hexproof. He's
Okay.
hexproof uncountable. You pay 2 mana to regenerate him. Okay, well they tap out then you supreme.
So he did have a second welding jar at the top there. I think we just
So,
didn't see it.
yeah, everything
The
went through
construct is
as a
alive. We are still in business.
He had 2 welding jars. I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah,
Two
we
welding
had
jars of those, very good.
I mean, he hasn't drawn any gas,
He
so
has to
that's
force them out. That's the thing is he has to force them out. Those welding jars are better if he doesn't wrath and kills nothing. You know.
there's the Baz.
Baz is a nice way
1/1
to-
modular.
Sort of.
We're relying on. We're hoping that there isn't another wrath in hand.
Engine stirrings, that's good. Take it.
I wouldn't be
24 life.
Wouldn't be surprised if she has to find a land here or something. I mean, the deck plays 1 on 2 lands,
Yeah, he's
as we've seen,
well, I mean,
especially on 5
on
lands.
5 lands when there is a saga, many decks play well on 2 lands.
Well, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that. The Saga's got sacrificed, so he did take that tempo. He's feeling it now.
He's feeling it. Yeah, it has come back.
Yeah.
With Kieran's like on that man advantage.
Is he feeling it? Doesn't he have like a 6/6 trample
Yeah,
lifelink on the board?
he's
Is he
gone to go
feeling it?
fetch another land.
I
Yeah,
mean,
got it off, still set it off.
That's
He
pretty
needs
good.
to be able
That's
to
what
play
it
more.
sounds
That's
like.
for lands go, that's a really good one.
guys, we can't talk. Yeah, just so it's life off.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to, so he's gonna sack Sabaz.
Yeah, for the legend rule.
Yeah, get another token onto Ozolith, and
Combat throw.
yeah. So there was a modular trigger onto Zabaz and 1 to Ozolith, and then I think combat will allow 1/1. I'm sure you'll probably put it onto. It's not a forced one. You may. Eh?
Yeah, I think he's leaving it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you may.
He hasn't put it there.
Kind of hard to see.
Oh, this is I know we shouldn't have sides when we're TOing, but we played so much as a Kieran last weekend, being playing on the team for trios. We have to support the bras.
Yeah.
No,
Jason
yeah,
Chap.
Kieran fought hard.
Okay, he fought hard there.
He also drew lots of lands. They just
He
weren't
did,
as strong as the other
all
ones.
of it,
Yeah. And I think he knows he's got a better sideboard plan.
Yeah.
That's where he'll have the option with Chalice, Engineered Explosives. Force, I don't know if he'll bring in Force. I mean, it is
Also
really good.
Invasion.
Force stops Ozolith.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's pretty good.
Non-creature.
It's pretty strong.
Does he actually have a copy in his sideboard?
2.
Nice.
I mean,
He
it's
doesn't
what?
to me.
It's Ozolith. I mean, it's
turns.
Ozolith, Ancient Stone. But going down too
Yeah,
much for the card advantage.
Mm.
Equipment.
I wouldn't say so.
They're being fetched and not
Yeah,
being called.
I wouldn't say that also.
Sorry, Kieran's on 0 there.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You don't think on
And it also hits Harden Scales,
Con skills.
which is kind of the engines for the deck.
It's 2 slots, right? So you can take out the cards that are kind of
Maybe.
right?
Dead innings.
Maybe. I mean, that's not a bad idea. I'd say.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe the shark type things. They're a bit slow.
It's a bit slow for this match.
Yeah, maybe dumps the shark type things for the they're slow. Because you just kill them with your land.
But it does get you deep. It gets you a chump blocker
It
into.
buys you a ton.
Yeah, that's what it's. I mean, that's where it fills that slot.
Yeah.
Is the more time buying
Yeah.
versus.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe Big Teferi.
Instinctively, I'd say.
You know, you don't
it's
need
not worth
so
it.
many of those.
Yeah.
I think yeah. If we're doing time buying though, you'd rather because the time buying the chump blocker doesn't work into Shadow Spear, right? So if you're buying time, wouldn't you rather just counter it on the stack with a free spot, like play your small Teferi?
I mean, there is only one Shadow Spear in the main here,
Yeah, but
so
you
you can't
close the
really,
slot.
But
you
it's
can't
chipping.
really play. He's more than likely not going to fetch that. It was situational, I think, but I think he'd rather maybe
Shadow
choose
is almost
some.
always the best target.
He's
though.
gonna fetch it every time.
To be honest, I would think you might side that out. It's not like a card that you need in this matchup.
No.
It doesn't.
If he's
do-
if he's taking out the
So yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it all depends on how we're gonna go. How they choose. I think it's.
it won in this game, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Kieran did flood this game, so.
Yeah.
it's tough to say.
And that's partly, you know, sometimes you can win a game with the card, but it doesn't mean it's a good card in the match.
Yeah, it's a
You know, it's just there.
the trample really helps.
It does.
Mm.
I mean, the lifeling's nice, but it's not relevant.
No, the lifeling's not a big deal.
Mm.
But
And it's not really that I mean his creatures are big. It's not like he's trying to trample over
Yeah.
because there's enough board presence
Mm.
to
You don't need
slow him down.
trample.
Mm.
I think.
I mean, Wolf does also have the opportunity of like turn 3 ink mark for
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that this deck is very
I
explosive.
would think.
but it's here into the solitudes, right?
Yeah.
It
Mm.
is. Not actually, but like any explosive start with this deck will be
Yeah.
reversed to solitude, right?
Yeah, but Kieran's on the play here,
Mm.
so I'm sure there'll be a prismatic ending to answer.
Hopefully he
Whatever
finds
Wolf
spreading seas
plays.
this time.
Spready's is crazy. Actually.
So
It
good.
destroys the saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
When we were testing for trios and he played blue white against Hamilton, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
He drew 3 against Ricardo in one game. It was just against
saw.
strong.
No, he had 4 out against Robin 1 as well.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just-
Principal land destruction.
Not against Wolves 3 soccer draw.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see like a play a saga. I raise you a Streeting Seas. Play a saga.
Another spread.
Another spread.
That's
Honestly,
soul.
I think
That would be horrible.
That's soul for the saga.
Kieran's probably
yeah.
a big advantage game too.
Mm.
Looking at the sideboards alone, Wolf doesn't really have much to sideboard in against Kieran unless
Top
the
up,
top
maybe.
top to stop obviously
I
the
don't see that.
ETBs, but
Void mirror.
other than that,
To be honest, yeah. I
there's
don't think-
nothing. But when you look at Kieran, he has the
Top up is
chalice
so
and
narrow,
the
you
and the
can play
engineered,
it.
which are both backbreaking for
It's
Wolf.
just solid.
It's just solid.
Mm.
So I think
That's the
game
only
2 is
one that
definitely
collection
in
is-
Kieran's favour, especially being on
Yeah,
the play.
both of them, I think, are for his.
The void mirror is good though.
Mm.
Every single free spell.
It hits the solitude that is a hard cast.
Yeah.
It's probably his best option, like without Veil.
But even I
Because
mean,
there's a veil of summer. That's what I was.
I mean,
surely
Oh,
it's green
right, no,
decks.
we're not seeing that right.
No, that's a weather the storm.
that's a
No,
weather
it's
storm.
That's not a
That's
veil.
wise.
So
Mm.
yeah.
Plus the void mirror only works into the
And
solitude
And
if
maybe
unless
the predicted
Kieran
side
brings in force of negation. But how will Wolf know
and
that
the
at this
zero,
point?
and the
Mm.
zero man and the
He hasn't
chalice
seen
zero
it.
is not
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think Torbor's so narrow.
So he's not Torpor.
He's not going to top. I don't think he'll void mirror.
I don't even know if he's sideboarding.
He might just
Doesn't even
play
have to.
honestly.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have to be fair. It's
Mm.
very, very
You
marginal.
know, go for a game 3 sort of where you can get a bit
Mm.
faster.
Well, he's on the
He's on the
advantage
draw.
of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, no, his sideboard is for wait. Brandon, you in the thing?
I wasn't ready to spot.
Because that's
Weather
storm
the
hate.
storm, I know.
That's weather the storm.
And
Damping sphere.
You didn't really change your sideboard, you just submitted it to be there.
Yeah. It's just weird. And Grafdigger's cage. And Chalice of the
Yeah,
Void.
I know. It's
You
like
play against Storm or something. Second Storm hate.
He seems to be very much up against creature sort of aggro decks, very well sideboarded for that. Unfortunately, this is the only blue-eye control deck in the tournament.
And he has nothing
And
for
he
it.
has
Not
nothing
even-
for
not
it.
Even
Yeah,
Veil of Summer.
and this is where I said, in terms of the structure for the tournament, is not just to try and get out the group stages, because that doesn't really help you winning prizes. It's really about ensuring it's balanced, but good enough to kind of get you through. And we'll probably see that in the later rounds as people start, as the matchups start to get more and more intense.
Kieran's going to 6.
Talking about the 6?
Kieran's money.
Yeah, all our other matches are still running, so you can see, guys, it's been pretty tight.
Do you want some updates?
Yeah, if you know what.
While they're sorting out mulligans, we can see how the fields will go.
Let's see,
Yeah.
Wolf's looking at his hand here. Kieran's drawing now.
He's
7.
going down to.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to tuck one away. Maybe tuck all 7 away and draw another one. Let's hope not.
Okay, looks like Wolf is keeping.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's a game up.
He can be a bit more
can be a bit more
relaxed.
risky.
Yeah.
Yeah, loose
Could
with
have an
his
extra
keeps.
card, yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Kieran looks like he's
It's
also
very-
keeping.
Yeah. It's interesting when you play like a very explosive deck. You can just keep a full grip even on like a
Mhm.
maybe you top deck the exact thing you need. When you're up again.
Citadel.
Also bluffs the
Okay.
one shot, right?
Yeah.
Alright, some updates from the other tables. Tian's is up 1-0 against Peter, and the other two are drawing 1-1 so far.
Oh wow.
And they're
Very-
negative
oh,
Yeah,
against
they're
threes.
not
Oh, there we
That's
see a
three
spreading
games.
seas.
Spreading seas on the.
Instructable
Not
doesn't
visible.
matter.
It's just an island now.
Yeah,
I'm
doesn't.
very curious.
He's doing it to draw, but I feel like maybe you hold that for Saga.
You can, but you can bounce it with the. You bounce it with the fairy
Yeah,
type,
you
you
can
bounce it with the fairy.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna do that.
it's probably got 3 fairy to keep control for the
Yeah.
board.
Good line.
Very curious why Wolf decided to play an island in his green white hardened scales deck. Maybe for prismatic ending.
There's no. Is there green white in his? Oh, he's playing 2
Yeah.
blacksmith skills.
Yeah.
Wow.
And ingenious.
And ingenious Smith, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
reason he
Find
played
more
the white,
value.
yeah.
Blacksmith skill. Yeah, we pioneered
Yes.
that.
Very
Yeah.
interesting choice.
We've been pushing that card.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Blacksmith skill as
He's
a.
now removed his land.
He
Okay,
also,
it's
he
back.
also doesn't remember boarding in the island.
In the
He's quite
basic
confused.
Is that game?
Did he just?
Did he see it?
No.
No.
Just
His
a-
fist bump.
He just said good card.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, friendly
Does
fist
Judge
bump.
he concedes?
You do not keep a 7 your first hand and then concede after one island.
Well, to be honest, he's got
was
everything that's
prismatic,
just
it's crazy.
colorless, so he's okay.
The colorless is the same as just having the
Power
Ooh,
Depot?
Ancient
Or
cigarette.
Ancient cigarette,
Oh,
yeah.
is that ancient? No, that's Power Depot.
power depot.
That's Power Depot.
Oh, yeah,
It's the
Power
modular
Depot.
one.
Yeah, it's Power Depot.
It's the
You're right,
modular
yeah.
one.
Oh, that one that he puts a 1/1 counter
See
on.
the shadow spear? Not fetched for this time.
Because he did turn 2, Saga turn 3, Saga
Target
turn
to
4.
4 saga, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
this
for
is
So
Lance gets in.
gets for 19.
as expected, Wolf was just playing his game, I guess.
Yeah,
He's just trying to win as fast as he
Yeah,
can.
that's one.
He has to. There's
Playing
no
old
choice against blue light.
Yeah,
playing
he's
old school
aggressive.
magic, just attack for 1.
The thing is, yeah, he's got to be.
You can outvalue him if you go for something.
Yeah, this is the thing. He plays the grindy matchup game because he drew every Saga.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
Can't do
lose when you hit
Square
sagas.
Yeah.
He's now using a special move called I'm gonna put this land back in my hand.
Is he playing Amulet now?
This is useless.
Something for a chamber?
Where's
He said now I'm good. Anyone playing this Dogs does.
he seems quite. He's very, very not
Confused.
sure about why there's an island in his deck. He keeps looking at this basic island. I know the Meriden arts for the basic lands are pretty interesting. Very confusing.
It's weird because it's not blue.
Yeah, no, but I mean, when they first printed artifacts, the activated abilities that were in mana symbols were still colorless. So it was a
Yeah. that's right.
teardrops. And
Colorless
yeah.
only entered during BFZ
yeah.
Yeah.
as a
As a
wait.
colour, Yeah.
But I mean, like physically on the card, you would get artifacts like old that would have like activation cost blue 1. Let's say the blue mana symbols were grey; they weren't blue. So you can find artifact cards that are technically have like blue mana cost in them, but they're grey on the card because the card was colorless and that was their idea. They changed it because it's a horrible idea.
Well, I think if you're talking about that, what is it? The blue one from Throne, where it's like Witching Well.
Yeah, that's not a blue. The blue.
Yeah.
I believe that's what an ingenious
Okay.
Smith has
Ingenious
been
Smith,
played
yeah.
there. Look at the top 4.
This is
Okay,
probably
so
going to
that's
get him
pass
deep
it.
in.
It's got a pathway on the white side, I think. I think that's a pathway.
I can't see
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it
the only foot land is on this deck. I'm pretty sure.
It
Yeah.
is a blank off pathway, the
Yeah,
green
so
white
it's got
ones.
a pathway up on the white side, on the bright side.
And is this game he is getting the mana that he needs?
Reveals it.
That's color.
Puts it
Okay.
into his hand.
I believe indestructible, is it on?
No,
No,
Death
no.
Touch lifelink.
Death Touch Lifelink.
Yeah.
Okay.
One to play, two to equip.
That's an interesting
Correct.
pickup.
And he plays it
He's
straight away
casting
to get a
just
counter
to-
on the
And it's a buff the
Smith.
Ingenious Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. All pretty standard stuff. Yeah. What is that next to the Basilisk collar?
Shadow
The
Spear.
Shadow Spear.
Shadow Spear, yeah.
Maybe that's why. But I'm surprised he didn't get an Ozolith.
But he didn't get a Saga, right? There's no Saga in this game, so he didn't fetch
Oh,
it.
no,
he
I'm
didn't-
saying he'd have. It's not a Saga tutor. It's
Yeah.
a Smith tutor. So I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a
He-
Smith tutor, so he just
he
probably
didn't
So
see
he whiffed it.
He didn't see it.
Well, no, Saga's an enchantment. You can't get Saga off.
No, I mean.
No, he means
The Saga
he means
tutor.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So Karen draws 2, is instant.
Yeah, Archangel Stone, criminally underplayed card until like this year. Or
Yeah,
last
literally.
year. It was like $5, and people were like, hang on.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
That card was way too good to. It's like cryptic
Yeah,
with
people,
one less.
people I don't know, man. People, maybe the triple blue.
I think it's
stand
better
out.
than cryptic. The draw 2 is way more insane.
Yeah.
And the
It's better in
cheaper one.
situations, obviously.
Yeah, but it's also the fourth mana matters.
Yeah,
Like, it really
no, for sure.
matters.
I do think he's right.
Second spreading season.
Also,
Yeah, more ones in
also
it.
with like, I don't know, I feel like the game controller seems to be one of less with Saga.
It's really good.
and
Yeah.
everything has been
Mm.
crazy. Yeah, he's got it, I think.
I'll forget about.
He's not here yet.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on his way.
So this is
Bolt technology.
So one time, I think it was like
so no paths from Kieran. So question.
Wolf is riding on the hopes that there isn't going to be a board rush or some sort, or maybe that Kieran plays out a bit too slow.
Maybe that's also why he's playing a little
There's an
slower.
Ozolith in his hand there.
Runs, that means 3 land.
He isn't going to drop the Ozolith first.
Playing a Ravager.
He's
That's
playing a
good.
Ravager.
Oh, it's Ravager.
Yeah,
Okay.
Get the
After
stick up
that,
on. I think he's gonna play the Ozolith now.
Now he plays the
Yeah.
other one.
That's the kind of scary threat he needs.
Yeah, Kieran's definitely on the back foot here.
This is an
Surprising.
explosive start.
Attack
He does have a
for
few turns though. Like he's got a lot of things. but
3?
they're all 1/1s, 2/2s,
just double check that's 3, right? Zavaz is
So Vaz
2.
is 1. That's 4 damage because it's 2 on top of the Ingenious Smith.
He's
So
going
that's
to
4
be,
points.
he's going to be low because he swung up his advance before. We'll just
We
need
can check.
to-
We'll do a
I'll
live.
go.
Yeah,
He should be somewhere
so it's
about-
like
We
4.
might have missed one.
He might be on 12 or 11, I think, actually.
No.
He's
Let's just double
prismaticing the Shadow Spear.
Is he going for the Shadow Spear here?
He's 15. That makes sense.
I feel like he'd rather go for the Arcbound.
Oh,
He's the
Ozolith.
Ozolith.
Yeah, he has to
He
go
was
for
pointing,
the
sorry, he was pointing the same. They're in the same.
same direction.
Kieran's on 13.
Yeah.
So we see a chalice for 1.
Chalice on 1. That's
Might be a bit too
very
late.
strong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That feels like it's a bit late.
It's too late to be effective.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nah, that's pretty bad.
Kieran actually didn't play a land that turn, so
Yeah.
oh,
he's
he's
not
yeah.
on verdict
I didn't
mana.
realize. Yeah, no, he's,
So
he's, on
he's
the
kind of in
verdict.
a tough one here.
I mean, look, he top decks the land. He's got the verdict in his hand. We hope.
That's very big ifs. He's still taking a lot of damage
He
here.
could be faking out.
He's taking what,
the
6?
land drop.
Still taking 6, and there's an ink moth
If he,
on the
if,
board
he
now.
starts, if he starts equipping the equipment as well.
Yeah, the implant on the board with the Ravager is pretty bad.
That's horrible. That's
Yeah.
horrible.
That's next turn lethal.
That's like
Solitude
Yeah.
can stop that at least. Cool.
To Peter. So Peter won his round. 2-1. That's cool. So
Yeah, I
that's
made a big mistake also with 2
yeah. Let me check where's the. So that's just one. So that's only one final match done.
Yeah, that's one of the top 8 done.
Yeah. So yeah, this looks like it might be Wolf's game.
He's second to
Second to-
Ravager.
Oh, we
Yeah.
got him 6 semis now.
Yeah.
Yeah. After this,
This is a one shot.
He might go for the killer.
he doesn't. How he's gonna go for the kill?
He doesn't have the mana to activate impulse, right?
No.
Wait. Did he just sacrifice
Ink must tap.
Darksteel?
The power.
Yeah.
No, the dog system not.
It's an island. It's not an artifact.
It's not an artifact land.
Maybe they check.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Just tell them that. Just go quickly and say that. Come, guys. If they go to another. Yeah. Before it goes. So just making sure.
I just left the Eidolon. I didn't stack it. He would have killed himself.
Doesn't lose its other types maybe.
Fuck, man, we should have asked Finley or Brad to be here today.
They're all judge conference.
No,
Yeah.
it's tomorrow. Finley's preparing for judge conference today.
Okay. That's what I thought. I would have loved to have a judge here too.
And I'm a level 1, but like most of the judge rules today were in my game.
It is an artifact. So it's an island
Still an
in
artifact.
addition to
So it's artifact island without
Instructor.
Yeah. So lose ability.
It's a seat of the
Okay.
sign on.
It just doesn't.
So it's an artifact land. That's what kind of happens through the spring seas. So you can still sack it to the Ravager. So it loses its abilities.
And then that's how we're going to just about account.
Yeah.
So let's see. This might be a lethal swing.
It's not like Blood Bowl.
Yeah. Do you want to check the life total quickly? I think it's 13.
I don't think it's changed since then until this attack. Eh?
Yeah. So this attack would be
If it is lethal, he'll
4, 5.
He's moving the counter.
So that means you change everything after the
Okay, so that's what we're guessing.
Same with There's only one card that affects super typing and that's America. It's not even affecting the negates the rule.
So question. What's that? Is that an animation module?
Which one?
No, that's a scrap house
Yeah,
ground. That's a scrapyard recombiner. So that's the one with modular 2. You could take it. I can't remember the name. I'd have to go and just double check. Scrapyard reclaimer. Yeah,
Not quite that.
yeah. Not looking for recyclers. MTG. Yeah, so Modern Horizons card here. So sacrifice an artifact, reveal, or you can look for a construct card.
That did just enter the battlefield, I believe. So
Yeah.
it looks like he is just going for a full sack and on the
But it's also got modular, so you can sack it, get
yeah.
Ravager nice and big.
But now let's see if Kieran maybe has a solitude in hand.
Yeah.
That could be a game ender here. Because now if that goes through, Wolf has no board left.
Yeah, so Wolf has used this board.
Let's put it all onto the Zabas. That is a swing. That will definitely be lethal.
Does he have the Solitude to
Solitude.
pitch in response?
It looks like he does. He's holding 2. We see a solitude.
Exiling a verdict.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
That is
a.
a very
that's
important
huge.
solitude.
So in response to the Ravager trigger.
Looks like Wolf will probably gain about 12 HP, but that doesn't matter in this matchup because
No, I don't think he's going to go and gain 1.
he'll probably concede off of this because Kiran will beat him down even with 32 HP at this point.
Yeah, he's got a
He gains less, right? Because he does in response to the odds of the game.
Yeah. So just double check for me the life total there. We said it was 11.
That was such an important solitude. Now we have Wolf sitting on 1 land with a lone, what is that, maybe a 4-2 here. Or is he, yep, all the counters have gone off. There's no Ozolith on the field. So he is now in a very bad position.
The question is, does Kieran have an answer to this?
Wolf is 34 and King is 9.
So Wolf sitting on 34 HP.
And Kieran's on 9.
But again, Kiran doesn't really care about the HP at this point.
He just needs to stabilize. He needs
has
to.
stabilized already. So if Wolf
He
doesn't
wants.
see lands,
He wants a game 2, so he's got to win this.
I think we'll see this go to game 3 at this point.
It looks like it with 1 land, and
Again, Kieran probably hasn't hit another land here, so maybe he'll
Fine
try playing
career.
for fairy. Oh, he's brought the Kahir into hand. Okay. He really needs that 4th land, I think.
yeah. So taking 4 down to 5.
Let's see the draw. He does have 2 turns left. He has now played another land. Let's see what he can do.
Very interesting take on Wolf because he could have played a Lurus deck if he just took out the Scrapyard Recombiner and the Ensnaring Bridge, giving the value something to do
Oh, we've seen an engineered.
for 2. That's good.
That'll blow up.
Yeah, forcing him to sacking, going down to 4.
Now you're looking at a deck with what has probably about 10 to 15 1-drops in it, unable to play spells for 1. So good luck with that, Wolf.
Yeah, so yeah, it's only got an Arcbound Ravager, and that's it. So it doesn't look too good for a wolf. So the chalice, do you really putting in?
3 mana. We're seeing Ensnaring Bridge.
Okay, that's fine.
And very odd, interesting sideboard choice here. Maybe
Look,
to stop.
Kieran can just get set up, get
Bounce
himself.
it with a
Yeah,
3 fairy.
just buy some time. Doesn't really need to attack.
4 mana here. Oh, he's now played the
Jace.
Jace.
Oh,
now
that's
the locking is.
now the
It's good.
value starts.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way back from this.
Let's see. Kieran's starting to generate that value now. You know, many times we've seen him from behind kind of start to just pull ahead. I mean, Jace is such a house.
Yeah.
It hasn't been showcased since it's unbanned in Modern, but it's still doing well.
It's $100 or so for a reason. So, and now he's just going to control Wolf's draws for the rest of the game. So now Wolf drawing probably lands or nothing every turn. Oh wait, we do see something.
So you can play Hanger back for 2. So that gets
Yeah.
around Chalice.
But Kieran at this point, his top decks are so much more valuable than what Wolf is drawing.
Also, I think there was a... Yeah, you can... Fate Seal. You can decide whether to put the top or bottom card. So now I think he's just going for a Jace ultimate. Just keep the board controlled and then finish off with Jace. But Wolf not looking in a good position with the Chalice on 1. Only playing 2 Hangerbacks or Walking Ballista. Although Walking Ballista for 2 is almost lethal
Yeah,
in that regard.
it's close, but it can't swing. Remember, because
Yeah.
of Ensnaring Bridge. So
okay.
okay, now we're gonna start life
Okay.
gaining.
Gain 1 life for Wolf. 35.
He's not managed to stabilize at this point.
So not really worried about the bridge. Wolf empty-handed. Oh, actually, got 2 cards. Okay,
Yeah,
Wolf
no,
calls it
screw.
out. Yeah, he
'Cause
sees the writing on the wall.
Jace alone would have won the game with
Yeah.
the ulti there.
Yeah. Nice. So we got a game 3 here. Awesome. Yeah. How did it go there, Stefan, in the background?
Last game 1 game 2, and then game 3 I put him on 2 life when he assembled the
The
combo.
oh my
I
god.
brought in a pithing needle and I was like, I either have to call Spike Feeder or Ballista. So I swung with the Goblin Guard, saw Ballista on the top,
Called Ballista.
called it. He had 2 in his hand, but then he drew a Spike Feeder, and then off another Goblin Guard trigger, I saw the Heliod, and when he was on 2 life, I was like, up, well, close.
Yeah, that's the sadness
Yeah.
about playing Burn against all these crazy. So yeah, well, we here with Stefan from Solarpop, one of the distributors of Magic product. Also getting to play. So if you guys got any questions, you want to ask him.
I had a great last round because I'm playing the Burn deck against the Life Gain deck, so that was awesome. I didn't expect to take a game against him, but it did end up happening. It was actually close in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, people were voting for that, and we were like, why does anyone want to see this match?
It's probably my friends at home who are trying to
Trying to
make sure it happens.
make sure it happens. We didn't get you on camera today. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
But I'm sure if we do a few more. Jacques won his round, so let's just have a quick look while these guys are just go final rounds. You can have a look at what these guys are doing. So Peter went through on his side, so he's either against Tiens or Ricardo. That match is still going on.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it looks like Ricardo's currently in the lead. He's got quite a few Planeswalkers assembled on his side of the board.
Okay, on Ricardo.
Yeah, on Ricardo's side.
Okay.
Ricardo has strong control going at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at that's a tough matchup for Tron on Helioid. I mean,
Yeah.
Tron against.
Amazon.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jacques against Phillips. So
Jacques just showed
Jacques
me.
just-
2
took
Juns.
Phillips.
Yeah, Jacques took it.
Okay, so let's
Very
just.
good matchup.
Yeah, I didn't get a planned camera, but I mean, Burns a very linear deck. I don't think it would have made the most exciting matchup. Remember, Peter beat me, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just.
Jock was lucky, man.
But did you not draw any lands?
I know.
No,
I
you
mulligan
do
to
lose.
4.
Okay, so let's.
Opening hand, boss, But one land short.
Okay, let's go back. So it looks like these guys are on. So it's Wolf. So it looks like he's playing a Inkmoth in turn 1. Turn 2, it looks like an Ingenious Smith.
Mm-hmm.
To look at the top 3. And
Okay, so he's played the Ingenious Smith. He's just found a Shadow Sphere.
yeah, so taking taking 1, going down to 19 for Kieran, getting his Rugrat Triumph.
Yeah, the Triumph's what sets up the nice prismatic ending plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's also the best land to really go fetch
Oh,
and turn 1.
Chalice on 1 from the start. So this is it doesn't look like Wolf has any artifact or enchantment removal. Animating Inkmoth going in. So 1 infect, yeah. Oh man, that's what I forgot to put as infect counters on this.
Yeah.
Next
So
time.
interestingly, Kieran's played the Chalice on 1 against Wolf here, but he's actually got quite a number of cards that cost 2 CMC. So this doesn't completely shut him off.
Hmm. So yeah, he does have Ravager. He's got Ballista and Walker are good options for him through this Chalice. But you could see from the previous game how Chalice almost locks Wolf out on 1 because it's like 90% of his deck is 1. Yeah.
It's going to make things difficult for him. It's not one of those where you just automatically scoop, but it's going to make things very challenging for him.
And this is all like Kieran's really looking for is to get to that late game because the card advantage and the power of his big planeswalkers are just outvalue it. Whereas 1-1 on that match. So the last 2 matches are 1-1s. So we're in for a tight finals. So next group's semi-finals. I'll set up I'm gonna set up a new poll later, so you guys can let us know which match you wanna see after we've got the winners. Ooh. So this is 1 infect. So it looks like Wolf is going for the infect damage here.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's obviously got the 2 Inkmoths out, so he's not going to be able to play a good portion of his deck, but he's got the infect route at his disposal.
So, and that's what's nice about the Harden scales, that it can get through that infinite life game through this Inkmoth. Ravager would obviously change a lot of this. Just allowing Inkmoths to grow a little bit bigger to do a little bit more of that poison damage. There's a spreading seas. Yeah. Oh, this obviously slowed down, getting Kieran a card, just allowing him to hit his land drops and hopefully find a little bit of a powerhouse in maybe a Memory Deluge or a Teferi. Yeah, and it looks like in Bridges, Bridges a dead card now with Wolf just drawing more and more cards, or not unable to play cards, but he is allowed to play into Chalice and let them get countered if that is a play that he's looking at. But I don't think that's a winning line. But that here goes down the bridge.
Yep.
It's when you're in these positions, it's sometimes more difficult to get through.
So what he's trying to do is trying to play as much pressure as he can. The Searing Breeze doesn't do much, but it does put a counter on the Smith. And this is just, at this point, you're looking for every advantage you can get. One counter can make all the difference at the end of the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it just that obviously halves his clock by just putting a 1 counter on it, converting it from a 1-1 to a 2-2. If you can get another 1 or 2 on that, then he might.
And does Ingenious Smith trigger off cast or enter the battlefield?
I think it's into the battlefield.
Right, okay.
We can always double check.
Otherwise, as you said, we just simply go play spells into the Chalice.
Yeah.
But I think you're correct. It must be an ETB effect.
I think it's an ETB. Whenever one or more artifacts enter, you put a, yeah. So yeah, it's an enter the battlefield trigger. Yeah, this chalice doing a lot of work for Kieran. Yeah.
So, Lee, has anything struck you as interesting about the decks that you've seen being entered for this event? Anything you were missing?
I felt like Rhinos was missing because I'm playing.
Rhinos,
I'm sitting here. And I'm joking.
Yeah.
I liked that we had Glimpse Cascade. I think we had some fun there. I mean, I can pull up the decks.
Yeah, a few of the players commented that there was no blue-red Murktide to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been Enrico. I think Enrico brought blue Shadow. Shadow was quite a nice one. I like. We've seen a little bit of success. It's also like deck of mine. It's part of it's the reason why my dog's named Shadow. So obviously there's a few other kind of references to Shadow, but Shadow is definitely my pet deck in Modern. Haven't played it since taking up the Rhino's mantle. Oh, Memory Deluge, very strong here, allowing him to dig 4 cards deep, take the best 2.
Yeah. So Wolf has played the Walking Ballista for 4, so it's going to come into play with 2 counters on it. It's obviously a way to play around the chalice. It's just additional pressure on the board.
And it gives a little bit of reach and a mana sink right now.
Yeah, and additionally it triggers the Ingenious Smith, so there's another counter on there. So, if the Infect route doesn't quite close it out, he's keeping all his options available, regular combat damage.
Yeah, do you mind checking that left order for me? Sure. Yeah, so, and this obviously allows him to play through bridge in a way. Put a counter, so swing a king, put a counter. So, Kieran taking out the Inkmoth route by spreading seas the Inkmoth so that he secures his life from the poison side.
Yeah, so no more half-price magic. That sale is closed down.
Kieran is on 12 with 5 infect.
12 with
and
5.
5 infect, yeah. And Wolfie is still on 20.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. So just a quick update to the life totals there. 12 life and 5 infect. So almost halfway there in both respects.
Let's see if I can put the -5 underneath. I didn't prepare for infect. I should have. But
Maybe make it the other color.
there's
There it is.
Oh jeez. Leave me alone. Okay. Fine. We'll keep. If it gets to that, I think we'll know that.
So that's a prismatic ending on the Walking Ballista, but just in response, he's going to fire that off.
Just to get the damage through.
Yeah.
So Kieran on 10. And this is getting to a. Yeah, you can feel Kieran's turning the curve, starting to get his. He's just getting deep into his deck, getting that card selection. And that's doing what blue wants to do.
Yeah. And Leafy, on that situation, do you play the prismatic ending on the Walking Ballista because it's obviously free, or do you try and go for the Ingenious Smith, which is a potential threat that it can keep growing later on the game, as we're going to see now here?
Well, I think the thing with Ingenious Smith is that a bridge will deal with it at some point. Right, so whereas Ballista has that option of killing you through the bridge, which is something that Kieran I don't think wants to avoid. And he's got his solitudes, he's got all of that, so that if he keeps it in that 3 mana range, he has another Ballista on 1. So this is getting pretty tight. Right? It's not going to be an easy one for Kieran to turn over, because it's looking a little on a tightrope walk for Kieran. It's just 7 life, and I think he might have leaned on a lot on the chalice, but he also doesn't look like he's been drawing too well.
Yeah. And the way that the game's going right now, obviously what the chalice has done, it's slowed things down quite a bit. He may have been dead already if Wolf had been able to play, several of the cards that are sitting in his hand.
For sure.
As I said, it's a tough choice. In previous turn, trying to maximize your mana, you get to play the prismatic ending for 1, get rid of the ballista. You do take the 2 damage, but it's off the field then. As you say, you don't have to worry about later on. Here, unfortunately, it gets followed up by another ballista, adds another count on there.
Yeah, and Wolf's starting to hit that. So one more land and he's got double activation on ballista. So that's obviously something that Kieran has to worry about.
Yeah.
So playing the Solitude, hard casting it.
Yeah.
So shooting him for 1. So Kieran going down to 6. Yeah. 6. Yeah. 620. Yeah. So.
Okay. There's the Solitude coming out.
So the nice thing about so it was hard cast. How many cards in Wolf's hand? Yeah, 20. Yeah. How many cards in hand? 4.
Looks like it's got 4 cards.
Yeah, so that means Solitude can attack in.
Yeah.
Same thing for. Okay, so this is a question of whether Kieran's gonna block. He does get that buffer on the life total with the life gain from Solitude.
With a temporary reprieve, he's going to lose his Solitude here.
Yeah, but he does gain 9.
But he does gain the life, yeah.
Just taking him a little further away from death, which is something that he wants to.
Okay, so we have Kieran sitting on 9.
Yeah.
Kieran sitting on 9.
Right, so we'll stop tapping a lot of mana here. This must be another one of the artifacts. There we go, okay. Hangerback Walker. Another count on the Ingenious Smith. And see, obviously, the longer the game runs, the bigger the problem the Ingenious Smith becomes, assuming that Wolf's got enough artifacts to play to buff it.
So is that he took 5 there, huh? Oh, that was a block. It blocked.
Yeah, it blocked, and then it's just post combat that he played the
Hall of the Storm Giants, the Kieran's win con. But I think he's a bit far away from that. Question is, I mean, Verdict's not great here because then it creates.
Just getting back the 3 Thopters, which, obviously it just resets the board really. You go from, 8 power to 3, but that's still a fairly quick clock for you.
Pretty good because it stops the Thopter shenanigans. Wolf gains 3 life. Tian's 1. So Tian's beats, I was expecting that from the Hammer Time against Tron.
Yeah, so it's the blue-white Hammer Time that's taken down the mono-green Tron.
This is the tension here in this game is you can see each player not wanting to make a mistake because it's that tight.
So this is the decider. They're both on 1-1. Okay.
Yeah. So whoever wins this. Yeah. So
Gonna bounce the Ingenious Smith is a good way to reset it.
Yeah. He might find something, but I think that's okay for now to.
Yeah.
Because that was doing a lot of work for.
Clears the way for the Solitude, so that's another 3 points of life that he gains.
Yeah, up to 12. So as Kieran's life total gets a little bit higher, it starts to feel like Wolf is slowly being pushed out of this game.
Yeah. So I think it's a Hangerback Walker. Arcbound Ravager that I saw there in Wolf's hand. He's hoping that he's going to draw an artifact off the Ingenious Smith here that he can play. Obviously, the Chalice is still on the field. But I think he got some good mileage out of that first one. Getting it up to 5 power at some point.
I agree with Lee. The longer this goes, it's sliding in Kieran's favour.
Just slowly. And we saw him win on 4 life the last time, so
Mm.
it's just been. So let me, while I'm doing this, I can
Okay. So there's the Ravager. That's Archmage's Charm. It's going to counter that. There's the plus onto Fairy. And there's the swing with the Solitude. So that's another
That's-
3 life.
15. Solitude is very under. You know that life gain on it. You know you think it's a
Yeah.
solid or plowshare, but it really undoes all that life gain that the other.
It's just a great card, yeah. Those are the types of abilities I'd want to see on any card, but on its own, never mind all stacked together.
Yeah, the Modern Horizons
Yeah.
came with a lot of power.
Yeah. And the Solitude that's just been able to get in and deal some damage is really starting to turn it for Kieran here.
Mhm.
He's gone from 6 life up to 15. And I think Wolf can feel it slipping away from him. There's the animation module. It's played it into the chalice, so that gets countered.
You can see Wolf's thinking about every move at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got to find a way.
Yeah. Arsenal at some point in time is going to maybe try and get rid of his hand as much as possible. Well, there's the prismatic ending. I think
That's the nail in the coffin.
he's happy to call it there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right.
Wolf lost
Okay.
there. So it's between Kieran. So just a quick poll to see. It'll be hammer time versus helioid. Then the next one is blue-eyed control versus. So I think we're gonna get Kieran and Jacques on stream with Ragavan versus blue-eyed control. I think that's a good. What's up, Ricardo? How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but stream doesn't seem to be on your favor, eh?
So it's the blue eye control that's now so far undefeated in the event, as well as the blue white hammer time.
Yeah. So let's go here. Let's say you want blue eye, you white control versus John Saga. I think that is going to be a nice spicy one. But let's leave it up to you guys. You guys let us
Yep.
know, and we will be back in a few.